In every season of life, there is a truth that only the wise understand. Not everything deserves to be spoken, and not every move you make must be announced to the world. The loudest victories are often born in the quietest sacrifices. The greatest achievements are shaped in silence, away from the noise, away from the judgment, away from the endless opinions of people who neither walk your path nor carry your burdens. Chapter 1. Every journey begins not with noise but with intention, and every intention that truly changes the course of a life begins in silence. When you decide to pursue something greater than yourself, you must understand that the world does not need your announcement. It needs your commitment. Too many people confuse talking with doing, and they mistake planning out loud for progress. But the truth is that the loudest people rarely create the deepest impact. It is the quiet ones, the focused ones, the ones who labor in obscurity while everyone else is distracted by the glitter of attention, who eventually step into the light with results that cannot be denied. Greatness is not about how loudly you proclaim your goals, but about how consistently you pursue them without fanfare, without applause, and without needing anyone to notice. Life has a way of rewarding those who protect their vision instead of exposing it, because the more you speak of your dreams, the more you hand over pieces of them to people who neither understand your path nor believe in your future. Every time you share your deepest ambitions with those who are not ready to receive them, you give away a fragment of your power, and fragments lost eventually weaken the whole. You expose yourself to doubts, to questions, to envy, to the opinions of people who do not see what you see, who do not carry what you carry, and who do not burn with the fire that fuels your determination. That is why silence is not weakness, it is strategy. It is the chosen shield of those who are wise enough to know that a vision must be protected like a seed. Imagine the seed planted in the soil. No one applauds when it disappears under the dirt. No one celebrates when it looks invisible. But under that quiet darkness it is alive. It is swelling with possibility. It is reaching roots deeper and deeper, so that when the time comes to break through the surface, it will not just rise but stand strong against wind, storm, and sun. Your dream is that seed. If you pull it out of the ground too soon to show others, you kill it. If you expose it to careless hands, they will crush it before it even grows. Protect it in silence until it is ready to face the world. Do not waste time trying to convince people to believe in what you know is real. The vision was given to you, not to them, and it was placed in your heart because you are the one chosen to bring it forth. To talk too much is to invite interference. To act in silence is to guarantee momentum. Think of the great inventors, the leaders, the builders of empires. They did not announce every step. They worked tirelessly in hidden spaces, driven by focus, and when they finally unveiled what they had created, the world was not just impressed, it was transformed. Your silence is not emptiness. It is where your discipline grows, where your clarity sharpens, where your persistence strengthens. Silence is where you wrestle with your doubts without letting them be heard by others who would amplify them. Silence is where you conquer fears that no one else even knows you are facing. Silence is the sacred workshop where faith is forged into reality. And then, when the world sees the results, they will call it sudden, they will call it overnight, they will call it luck. But you will know the truth. It was built in silence all along. Life does not reward those who seek attention. It rewards those who seek excellence. Attention fades, but results endure. You must decide which one you want. If you choose attention, you may feel noticed today but forgotten tomorrow. If you choose excellence, you may feel invisible today, but when your work is revealed, the impact will outlive you. Do not mistake silence for stagnation. Just because the world cannot see your progress does not mean it is not happening. The caterpillar does not announce its transformation inside the cocoon, yet one day it emerges as a butterfly, unrecognizable to those who doubted its potential. That is the power of silence. It is not the absence of growth, it is the preparation for greatness. Guard your focus with everything you have, because distraction is the enemy of destiny. People will always ask questions. What are you doing? Where are you going? How will you succeed? But you do not owe them an answer. You owe yourself the discipline to keep building until the results speak louder than your explanations. A day will come when you no longer have to tell anyone what you were working on, because your success will testify on your behalf. The greatest victories are not shouted in the beginning, they are celebrated at the finish line. Let others boast of their intentions while you remain committed to your execution. Let others waste their energy on talk while you invest your energy in action. The race is not won at the starting line. It is won by the one who endures until the end, and endurance is fueled not by noise, but by quiet determination. Learn this truth early. Never tell people what you do. Show them. Never explain what you are building. Reveal it. Never defend your dreams against doubters. Let your results silence them. This is the way of those who achieve greatness. This is the way of those who refuse to be ordinary. This is the way of those who understand that silence is not just golden. It is powerful, it is protective, and it is the womb where destiny is shaped. Chapter 2. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is not a void. Silence is not the absence of progress. It is the soil where discipline grows, the hidden ground where roots are formed, the sacred place where preparation quietly transforms into power. If you look at a seed buried beneath the earth, it appears invisible. It seems forgotten. It looks as though nothing is happening, but beneath the surface something miraculous is taking place. The seed is alive. It is expanding. It is pushing roots deeper into the unseen soil. It is stretching itself in preparation for the day it will break through and face the sun. That is exactly how your destiny works. People may look at you in your season of silence and assume that nothing is moving. They may think you are stagnant. They may believe you are wasting time. But what they cannot see. Chapter 3. Never tell people what you do. Because people will always measure your vision through the limits of their own imagination. And when their imagination is small, they will ask you to shrink yours. They will question your dream, not because it is impossible, but because it is beyond their personal capacity to believe. And when they cannot see what you see, they will try to make you doubt yourself. This is why your ideas, your plans, your vision must be protected like a warrior protects his strategy before stepping into battle. A general does not reveal his next move to the enemy, and in life, not everyone around you is a friend to your future. Some may act like they support you, but secretly hope you will fail. Others may not wish you harm, but their words of doubt can plant seeds of hesitation. And even those who love you may unconsciously limit you by encouraging you to stay safe instead of daring to rise higher. To reveal too much too soon is to arm your enemies and your doubters with the very weapons they will use against you. If you tell people what you are building, they will speak fear into it, and fear is contagious. If you explain your next step, they will analyze it through the lens of their own failures, and in their analysis, they will discourage you. If you open your heart too freely about your dream, they will mock it, minimize it, or manipulate it. But when you keep quiet, when you move in silence, when you guard your vision like a treasure locked in the deepest vault, you protect its purity until it is strong enough to withstand the criticism of the world. Understand this. The more you talk about what you are going to do, the less energy you have left to actually do it. Talking creates a false sense of accomplishment, as if speaking of the dream is the same as building it. But it is not. The more you talk, the more satisfied you feel without having taken a single step forward, and that false satisfaction robs you of the hunger that should be driving you. True progress does not need a microphone, it needs discipline. True vision does not need validation, it needs execution. The wisest people are often the quietest. because they know that what is sacred must be guarded from careless ears. Think of the farmer who sows seeds. He does not walk around announcing how many seeds he planted. He does not waste time explaining to everyone when they will grow. He simply plants them, waters them, protects them, and trusts the process. And when the harvest comes, no one needs to ask what he has been doing, because the fruit speaks for itself. In the same way, let your results speak. Let your success be your announcement. Let your victory be the answer to all the questions people asked while you were silent. When people do not know your next step, they cannot interfere with it. They cannot sabotage it. They cannot block what they cannot see. Your silence is your shield, and your actions are your sword. Protect your energy by speaking less and doing more, because every word spoken is energy released, and if you release it in careless conversations, you will have nothing left to invest in the work that matters. Remember, some people are not waiting to see you succeed so they can celebrate you. They are waiting to see you succeed so they can copy you, undermine you, or compete with you. Why give them the blueprint before you even lay the foundation? Why reveal the plan when it is still fragile? Keep it close, keep it safe, and let time reveal what your words never should. Do not confuse secrecy with fear. Keeping quiet is not about being afraid. It is about being wise. It is about understanding that everything has a season, and the season for sharing comes only after the work is done. The tree does not announce its fruit while it is still a bud. It waits until the fruit is ripe, until it is undeniable, until no one can dismiss what it has produced. That is how your vision must be revealed, not in half-baked explanations, not in premature declarations, but in finished results that cannot be argued with. Speak less, work more. Share less, create more. Announce less, execute more. And when the world finally sees what you have been building in silence, when they witness the fruit of your hidden labor, when they realize how much you achieved without ever boasting, their disbelief will turn to respect. Their doubt will turn to silence, and their criticism will be crushed under the weight of your undeniable results. This is why the truly great do not spend their lives explaining themselves. They let their legacy do the talking. So never tell people what you do, let them see what you have done. Chapter 4. Focus is the language of winners, and distraction is the melody of the crowd. And if you are serious about building something extraordinary, you must learn to master focus the way a craftsman masters his tools. Focus is not just about ignoring noise. It is about channeling your entire being into the vision you carry, about pouring all your time, energy, and discipline into the one thing that matters most, and refusing to dilute yourself in the endless distractions that fight for your attention every single day. Distraction is cheap. Distraction is plentiful. Distraction is the easiest thing to find in a world addicted to noise, and yet it is the greatest enemy of destiny. Every time you tell people your plan, you invite distraction. Every time you try to explain your journey to people who cannot even walk their own, you lose energy. Every time you chase after validation, likes, applause, or attention, you trade focus for vanity, and vanity has never built anything worth remembering. Focus requires you to be comfortable with being misunderstood, because most people cannot comprehend why you would isolate yourself, why you would disappear, why you would work quietly when the world is shouting for recognition. They cannot understand that silence is your armor, patience is your weapon, and execution is your crown. If you want to lead, if you want to rise, if you want to create impact, you cannot live like everyone else, because everyone else is distracted, everyone else is chasing popularity over purpose, everyone else is seeking approval instead of discipline. Winners do not waste their time explaining themselves to the distracted. They guard their focus as though it were the most precious treasure in the world. And truly it is. With focus, mountains are moved, books are written, empires are built, legacies are carved. Without focus, even the greatest dream dies in fragments. scattered in 1,000 directions, unfinished, forgotten. Focus is the ability to say no, not once, not occasionally, but consistently. No to the conversations that drain you, no to the habits that weaken you, no to the temptations that lure you away from your purpose, no to the distractions that disguise themselves as opportunities. Focus is ruthless, but it is also liberating. It frees you from the opinions of people who do not matter. It frees you from the noise of a world that celebrates mediocrity. It frees you from the endless chase of trying to please everyone, and it allows you to give your full attention to the destiny that only you can fulfill. Do not waste your energy explaining your journey to people who were never designed to walk it, because they will never understand it. They will question your silence. They will mock your isolation. They will misunderstand your discipline. But when the results come, when the success appears, when the crown rests upon your head, the very same people who once doubted will have no choice but to respect what they could not comprehend. Patience is your weapon, because patience is the secret ingredient of every great victory. Without patience, you rush, you panic, you try to force what only time can create, and in your impatience, you destroy what was meant to grow. Execution is your crown, because in the end, words do not matter, intentions do not matter, dreams do not matter if they remain trapped in your mind. Only execution crowns the winner. Only execution builds the legacy. Only execution separates the dreamer from the achiever. So guard your focus. Guard it like your very life depends on it, because in truth, it does. Your destiny depends on it. Your family depends on it. Your legacy depends on it. Every great man, every great woman who has ever changed the world has done so by mastering focus. They did not live to be liked. They lived to be effective. They did not live to be popular. They lived to be purposeful. They did not allow themselves to be pulled in 100 directions by the noise of the crowd. They narrowed themselves to the one mission, the one calling, the one vision that defined their lives. That is why their names are remembered while others fade into the forgotten sea of distraction. And you must decide right now what you want your life to be: a distracted existence that talks a lot but achieves little, or a focused mission that speaks little but achieves greatness. Silence will guard you, patience will strengthen you, focus will guide you, and execution will crown you. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay committed, and let the noise of the crowd fade into the background, because winners do not speak the language of distraction, they speak the language of focus. Chapter 5. There is a power in mystery, a power that only those who dare to walk in silence truly understand, because mystery is not about hiding out of fear. It is about protecting the essence of your work until it is ready to be revealed, and it is about moving in such a way that no one can predict your next step or interfere with the process that only you and time can shape. People respect what they cannot predict. They are drawn to what they cannot fully understand. And when they see you moving without announcing, working without explaining, building without broadcasting, they are forced into a place of curiosity, a place of wondering, a place of respect, because unpredictability is power. If people know your every step, they can interfere, they can manipulate, they can discourage, they can block. But if you remain silent, if you remain mysterious, if you protect your path like a hidden map, then no one can control you, no one can trap you, and no one can rob you of the victory that belongs only to you. The element of surprise is not just for battles fought with swords and shields, it is for life itself, and the one who learns to use it wisely always carries an advantage. Work in private, build in silence, grow where no eyes can see, and you will become unstoppable. Because when you finally step into the light, the world will not see your trial and error, your late nights, your lonely sacrifices. They will only see the strength of your results. And that moment of revelation will carry more weight than 1,000 empty announcements made along the way. The mistake so many people make is believing that progress must be shared to be real. that every step must be posted, that every move must be celebrated. But this obsession with exposure kills the very power of their process, because in trying to satisfy the crowd, they weaken their focus, they exhaust their energy, and they invite distractions that delay their destiny. Mystery, however, guards your energy. It allows you to conserve your strength, to direct it toward execution rather than explanation, toward creation rather than conversation. And when you live in mystery, you keep people guessing, you deny them the chance to box you in, you keep them from measuring you by their own limited expectations. There is freedom in being unpredictable, because predictability makes you vulnerable, but mystery makes you untouchable. Do not underestimate how dangerous it is to be fully known by those who do not fully support you. When everyone knows your next move, they can prepare traps, they can plan resistance, they can anticipate your steps, and weaken your confidence with their criticism. But when you walk in silence, when you cover yourself in mystery, they cannot fight what they cannot see. This is not about paranoia, it is about wisdom, and wisdom teaches us that protection is as important as progress. Protect your ideas like a parent protects a child, because premature exposure can be deadly. People do not always destroy your dream by attacking it directly. Sometimes they weaken it with careless words, with casual doubts, with subtle discouragements that slowly eat away at your confidence. Keep it hidden, keep it safe, keep it mysterious until it is too strong to be denied. Mystery also creates anticipation, and anticipation multiplies impact. Think of an artist who disappears for years, quietly perfecting his craft, and then suddenly releases a masterpiece that stuns the world. Because he kept his process mysterious, the impact of the revelation is 10 times greater than it would have been had he constantly explained what he was working on. That is the power of mystery. It magnifies the moment of unveiling. You can choose to be predictable, sharing every step and receiving small, fleeting attention along the way, or you can choose to be mysterious, receiving silence in the process, but thunder in the revelation. The choice belongs to you. The truth is, people often confuse transparency with authenticity, but you do not owe the world transparency in your process. You owe the world authenticity in your results. Mystery is not dishonesty, it is wisdom. It is not manipulation, it is protection. It is not selfishness, it is strategy. When you embrace mystery, you give yourself the space to grow without interference, the time to build without scrutiny, the freedom to fail privately and correct yourself without an audience, and the courage to rise stronger than ever when it is time to reveal your work. Those who live loudly may capture quick attention, but those who live mysteriously capture lasting respect. So learn the discipline of moving quietly, of letting your actions speak at the right time, of unveiling your work only when it is undeniable. Let mystery guard your journey. Let mystery protect, let fantasy multiply your impact, because in a world that rewards exposure, true power belongs to those who know how to remain unseen, until the moment their greatness cannot be ignored. Chapter 6. Every dream is fragile at birth, delicate like a newborn child that cannot yet defend itself against the harsh winds of the world, and exposing it too early is like exposing that child to a storm it cannot survive, which is why your vision, your dream, your plan must be guarded with the same care and seriousness as a parent guards their infant. At the beginning of a dream's life, it is tender, it is small, it is vulnerable, it exists more in your heart than in reality, and though you may see its future clearly, the world cannot, and because they cannot see it, they cannot value it, and because they cannot value it, they can easily destroy it with words, with doubt, with laughter, with careless dismissal. People may not always mean to harm your dream, but their disbelief can poison your faith. Their skepticism can weaken your courage, their laughter can scar your confidence, and their questions can plant seeds of hesitation that grow into full forests of fear inside your mind. That is why silence becomes a sacred protector of dreams. When you hold your vision in your heart and guard it in your mind, you place it in an environment where only your belief can feed it, where only your faith can nurture it, where only your discipline can grow it into something strong enough to stand in the open. Understand that people often attack what they do not understand, and what they cannot understand, they ridicule, and ridicule has killed more dreams than failure ever has. How many people have walked away from greatness not because they failed in action, but because they failed in faith, after hearing the wrong words at the wrong time from the wrong people? The truth is that the moment you reveal your dream too early, you open it up to forces it is not ready to endure. Think of an architect who shows a blueprint before laying the foundation. Everyone has an opinion, everyone has a criticism, everyone wants to suggest changes, and in the noise of their opinions, the purity of the original design is lost. That is what happens when you reveal too soon. You let the voices of others corrupt the vision that was given to you alone. Your dream is not a democracy, it is a destiny, and it does not need the approval of others to come to life. It needs your commitment, your silence, your persistence. Protect it the way a seed is protected in the soil. When a seed is underground, it is hidden, it is unseen, but it is not dead. It is growing, it is breaking open, it is developing roots that will one day sustain it. If you pull it out too soon to show it to the world, you kill it. The soil of silence is the only place where the roots of a dream can grow deep enough to handle the storms of reality. You may feel invisible in this season, you may feel unrecognized, you may feel underestimated, but invisibility is not a curse, it is a shield. It keeps you safe while you grow. It allows you to fail quietly, to experiment without shame, to stumble without judgment, and to rise without interference. Do not despise your hidden season, because it is in hiding that you are made strong. It is in silence that you are made ready. It is in obscurity that you are shaped into someone who can handle the weight of what you are asking for. Too many people want to skip the hidden stage. They want to be seen before they are strong. They want recognition before they have results. They want applause before they have mastery. And so they expose their fragile dream to the public eye, and the public eye crushes it under pressure. Do not make that mistake. Protect your dream as something sacred, because it is. Nurture it in silence until it becomes undeniable, until no ridicule can shake it, until no doubt can uproot it, until no laughter can diminish it. When it is ready, it will reveal itself, and when it reveals itself, the very same people who once doubted will marvel. The very same people who once laughed will applaud. The very same people who once discouraged will try to stand close and say they always believed. But you will know the truth. They did not believe. You did. They did not protect it. You did. They did not nurture it. You did. And it was your silence that saved it. So embrace the sacredness of silence. Treat your dream as fragile and holy. Guard it with everything you have, because until it grows strong enough to stand in the storm, silence will always be its safest home. Chapter 7. Lions do not roar when they hunt. They roar when the hunt is over, and this truth holds the secret of timing, the secret of restraint, the secret of why winners do not boast in the middle of the journey, but wait until victory is undeniable. And you must understand this principle if you are to walk the path of greatness, because winners know when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait, when to reveal and when to conceal. Timing is everything. Just because you have a vision does not mean it should be exposed today. Just because you have a plan does not mean it should be announced now. Just because you feel inspired does not mean the world must know. The immature mistake of many is to speak too soon, to announce what is not ready, to boast of a race while they are still running. But those who understand timing know that silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. That withholding is not fear, it is strategy. Think of the farmer. He does not dig up the seed to show progress. He trusts the process of time. He waters, he waits, he protects, and only when the season is right does he harvest. If he were to rush the process, he would destroy the very fruit he longs for. The same is true of your dreams. You must know the difference between the season of planting and the season of reaping, the season of silence and the season of speaking. Do not confuse impatience with urgency, because impatience will cause you to reveal what is not strong enough to survive, while urgency is the discipline of acting daily while still protecting your vision until it is ripe. Lions do not reveal their hunt with noise, because noise alerts the prey, and in life, your noise alerts the doubters, the critics, the envious, and those who wish to stop you. Silence keeps you hidden until the right moment. Silence gives you the advantage. Silence allows you to move freely without resistance, because no one can fight what they cannot see. The time will come for your roar. The time will come when your results will echo so loudly that no one will be able to ignore you. But that time is not at the beginning. It is at the end, after the work has been done, after the sacrifices have been made, after the consistency has been proven. Winners understand that credibility is not built with words but with results, and results take time, effort, discipline, and patience. Do not be deceived by a culture that celebrates premature exposure, that pushes you to announce every move, to post every step, to share every detail. That is the path of the foolish, for in their attempt to appear great, they weaken their greatness. What is truly powerful needs no constant announcement. The sun does not speak of its rising, it simply appears and commands attention. In the same way, your dream, when fully grown, will not need your defense. It will reveal itself. Timing requires humility, the humility to know that you are not yet ready to show, the humility to remain hidden while you are still being prepared, the humility to resist applause until you have earned it. Too many people destroy themselves by rushing to the stage before they are ready to perform, by seeking recognition before they have mastered their craft, by trying to prove themselves instead of improve themselves. But those who wait, those who remain disciplined, those who keep their mouths shut and their heads down in the season of work, they are the ones who rise without falling, who endure without fading, who roar only when the crown is on their head. So learn the art of timing. Save your strength for the right season. Do not waste your roar in the middle of the hunt, because the roar is not for the chase, it is for the victory. When you finally reveal what you have been building, when you finally unveil the fruits of your hidden labor, the world will be shocked, the world will be silent, the world will wonder how you did it. And that is the power of waiting. Timing multiplies impact. Silence preserves strength. Patience prepares greatness. Trust the process, stay disciplined, and let your roar be heard only when the victory is yours. Chapter 8. Not every person around you deserves access to the deepest parts of your vision. Not every ear deserves to hear your dreams. Not every eye deserves to see your progress, because some people will never celebrate your growth. They will never honor your effort. They will never protect your vulnerability. And so wisdom teaches us that selective sharing is survival, that discernment is as important as discipline, that knowing who to trust with your silence is just as critical as knowing when to speak. Many fail not because they lack talent or vision, but because they entrusted their vision to the wrong people. People who disguised envy as advice, people who wore friendship as a mask but carried hidden daggers of jealousy, people who appeared supportive yet secretly prayed for their downfall. This is why you must guard your circle, why you must evaluate the company you keep, why you must understand that intimacy is not for everyone. Even in history, the greatest leaders, thinkers, and creators were careful about who they confided in. They understood that too much exposure to the wrong environment could kill their destiny before it bloomed. Silence is powerful, but silence combined with discernment is unstoppable. You must learn to measure people not by what they say but by what they show, not by how they appear in the light, but by how they act when no one is watching. Trust is not a gift to be given freely. It is a currency that must be earned through loyalty, consistency, and integrity. The problem with oversharing is that it invites counterfeit supporters into sacred spaces. It allows thieves of energy to drain you. It opens the door for dream assassins to strike before you are even ready to defend yourself. Guarding your silence does not mean living in paranoia. It means living with wisdom, choosing carefully who has access to your time, your thoughts, your plans, and your vulnerabilities. Ask yourself, does this person celebrate me in private as they do in public? Does this person encourage my growth without competing with me? Does this person stand by me without needing credit? If the answer is no, then they are not worthy of your inner world. Silence becomes a shield when you combine it with discernment. Think of a fortress. Its walls are not built to keep out everyone, only those who pose a threat. But even friends must pass through gates, and gates require evaluation. In the same way, you must build boundaries around your life, boundaries that protect your dream, while allowing genuine, trustworthy allies inside. You cannot walk to greatness alone, but you also cannot walk to greatness with everyone, so you must choose wisely. Do not mistake familiarity for loyalty, because some of the greatest betrayals come from those closest to you, and do not mistake loud words for genuine care, because some speak loudly only to cover their hidden agendas. True allies are often quiet, steady, consistent, those who encourage without envy, those who give without keeping score, those who are present in silence as much as in success. If you find one or two such people in your lifetime, treasure them, because they are rare. Everyone else belongs on the outside of your fortress. Selective silence is not about pride. It is about preservation. It is about protecting the flame of your vision until it grows strong enough to shine on its own. When you learn to share less, you invite peace. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone, you conserve energy. When you guard your secrets, you reduce vulnerability. And when you learn to filter your circle, you accelerate your growth, because now you walk lighter, freer, and stronger. Remember this, your dream is a diamond, and diamonds are not displayed on every street corner. They are hidden, protected, and revealed only to those who can handle their value. Treat your dream with the same respect. Guard it, protect it, and above all, never let the wrong people hold it in their careless hands. Chapter 9: Discipline is the hidden architecture of success, the invisible framework that holds everything together when the applause fades, when the motivation runs dry, when no one is watching, because while talent can open doors and opportunities may arrive by chance, only discipline can keep you standing long enough to transform those moments into lasting victory. And that is why silence and discipline walk hand in hand, because silence protects your focus, while discipline directs your energy. Silence shields you from distraction, while discipline builds you into someone unshakable. Silence keeps you from wasting words, while discipline ensures you do not waste time. Many people speak of dreams. They shout their goals to the world. They post their ambitions on every platform. Yet when the time comes for daily sacrifice, for consistent effort, for quiet repetition, they crumble, because words are cheap, but discipline is costly, and only those willing to pay the price of discipline ever get to hold the reward of destiny. Discipline means waking up when you do not feel like it, showing up when no one is clapping, practicing when no one is praising, studying when no one is noticing, working when everyone else is playing, and refusing to quit even when progress feels invisible. Discipline is boring to the lazy, but sacred to the great, because greatness is not built in bursts of passion, but in steady streams of persistence, in the ability to do today what others postpone until tomorrow, in the refusal to let feelings dictate actions. Understand that silence without discipline is emptiness. It is merely inactivity disguised as patience. But silence with discipline is unstoppable, because while the world thinks you are doing nothing, you are in fact building everything. While they think you are idle, you are sharpening your sword. While they think you are stagnant, you are storing strength. Discipline transforms silence into a secret weapon. It is the difference between dreaming and achieving, between wishing and winning, between planning and producing. Think of a musician. Talent may inspire a song, but only discipline creates mastery. Only discipline brings the skill to perform on the stage. Only discipline ensures the song lasts beyond the moment. In the same way, your life is a composition, and silence provides the concentration, but discipline writes the music. Every time you choose discipline, you are investing in your future self. You are building credibility with yourself. You are creating evidence that you can be trusted with greater responsibility. Without discipline, dreams remain fantasy, but with discipline, dreams transform into reality brick by brick, day by day. It is not about doing extraordinary things once. It is about doing ordinary things consistently until they produce extraordinary results. Discipline is unglamorous, it is often painful, it demands sacrifice, it demands denial, it demands endurance, but its rewards are eternal. They are undeniable, they are irreplaceable. The problem is that many want the crown without the cross, the glory without the grind, the reward without the routine, but life does not work that way. Silence keeps your vision safe, but discipline keeps your vision alive. They are partners in progress, guardians of greatness, pillars of perseverance. Do not despise discipline, do not resist it, do not run from it, because every act of discipline is a deposit into the account of your destiny, and one day you will withdraw greatness from what you consistently deposited in obscurity. Discipline is love for your future self expressed in daily action. Discipline is respect for your destiny demonstrated in private choices. Discipline is commitment dressed in routine. So embrace it, because when silence and discipline unite, nothing can stop you. Chapter 10. Patience is not passive waiting. It is not sitting still and hoping the world will change. It is not folding your arms while destiny magically arrives at your doorstep. True patience is active endurance. It is the strength to keep building when no one notices, the courage to keep sowing when the ground looks barren, the faith to keep believing when evidence is invisible, and this kind of patience is what separates those who merely start from those who eventually finish, those who simply dream from those who truly achieve. Patience is the twin brother of discipline, because while discipline commands you to act daily, patience commands you to trust daily, to trust the process, to trust the timing, to trust that unseen work will eventually produce seen results. The farmer teaches us this. He does not plant today and expect fruit tomorrow. He does not grow weary because the soil seems silent. He does not abandon the field because sprouts take longer than he hoped. Instead, he waters faithfully, he weeds consistently, he protects the ground, and he trusts the law of time that what is sown will be reaped in its season. Your dream works the same way. You may have started with fire, with passion, with excitement, but when weeks turn into months and results still seem small, many give up. Not because the dream was impossible, but because their patience was too short, their endurance too weak, their perspective too narrow. Understand that greatness is not microwaved, it is slow-cooked. It requires time, seasoning, and pressure. If you cannot endure the waiting, you cannot handle the winning. Patience is the furnace where maturity is formed. Because waiting reveals your true character, do you only work hard when rewards are immediate? Or can you work hard even when recognition is delayed? Do you only believe when evidence is clear, or can you believe when nothing yet appears? Patience exposes the depth of your faith. Most people quit not at the beginning and not at the end, but in the middle, in the long stretch where results feel delayed and silence feels heavy. But that is exactly where patience proves its power, because those who endure the middle always reach the end. Patience is not weakness, it is strength under control. It is the ability to hold your emotions steady, to resist frustration, to silence the urge to quit, and to remain steadfast when others walk away. Impatience shouts, now or never, but patience whispers, wait and it will be better. Impatience makes you settle for less, patience prepares you for more. Think of diamonds. They are formed under pressure over time, not in a rush, not in a moment, but through a long. If you try to shortcut that process, you get a fragile imitation, not a real diamond. In the same way, impatience produces counterfeits, but patience produces the authentic. Patience is not about waiting for opportunities to appear, but about preparing so thoroughly that when the opportunity comes, you are unshakably ready. It is about refusing shortcuts, refusing compromise, refusing to lower your standard just to get there faster. Patience is power restrained, vision preserved, and destiny protected. While silence keeps your dream safe from outside voices, patience keeps your heart safe from inner restlessness. Without patience, you will destroy with your own hands what silence preserved for you. Do not confuse delay with denial. Just because it has not happened yet does not mean it never will. Life tests you with waiting, because what you do in the waiting proves whether you are worthy of what you are waiting for. Use patience as a weapon instead of complaining. Keep working instead of comparing. Keep building instead of doubting. Keep believing. Every day you wait faithfully is a day you add strength to your character, depth to your roots, and weight to your destiny. Patience is the bridge between vision and reality, between prayer and answer, between planting and harvest, and those who master it cannot be shaken, because they understand that time is not their enemy, but their ally. So embrace patience, not as something forced upon you, but as something chosen by you, because it is not stealing your destiny. It is shaping you into someone strong enough to carry it when it finally arrives. Chapter 11. Energy is the most valuable currency you have, more valuable than money, more precious than opportunity, because while money lost can be earned again and opportunities missed can sometimes return, wasted energy is gone forever, and this is why protecting your energy is just as important as protecting your dream, for your energy is the fuel that drives your vision forward, and if it is drained, distracted, or stolen, even the greatest dream will stall. Every conversation, every environment, every relationship either deposits into your energy account or withdraws from it, and if you are not intentional, you will find yourself bankrupt, not because you lacked vision, but because you allowed too many leaks in your energy. Silence plays a crucial role here, because silence is not only about guarding your words, but about guarding your space, your focus, your peace, your fire. The loudness of life, the gossip, the drama, the endless opinions of others, drains you, but silence recharges you. It preserves the strength you need for the battles that truly matter. Protecting your energy means learning to say no, learning to walk away, learning to set boundaries, learning to guard your mornings, your routines, your thoughts from anything or anyone that diminishes your strength. It is not selfishness, it is stewardship, because you cannot pour into your dream if your own cup is empty. You cannot inspire if you are constantly drained. You cannot build if you are always exhausted. Many fail not because they lacked intelligence, but because they wasted energy on proving themselves to the wrong people, fighting battles that were not theirs, or feeding distractions that gave nothing in return. You must learn the wisdom of conservation. Spend energy only where it multiplies, not where it evaporates. When you protect your energy, you sharpen your focus, you extend your endurance, you strengthen your discipline, and you accelerate your growth. Think of a river. If it spreads too wide, it becomes shallow and weak. But when it is channeled and protected, it becomes powerful enough to generate electricity. Your energy works the same way. Scattered, it is weak. Focused, it is unstoppable. Guard your energy against negativity, because negativity is a thief that enters through conversations, through comparison, through criticism, and leaves you empty. Guard your energy against unnecessary arguments, because arguing with fools drains your spirit and yields nothing of value. Guard your energy against constant distractions, because every notification, every interruption, every detour steals small pieces of your strength until you are left wary and unfocused. Protecting your energy requires courage, because people will not always understand your silence. They will misinterpret your boundaries. They will call your discipline pride. But you must remember that your destiny is too important to be sacrificed for their approval. Protecting your energy also means protecting your inner voice, the quiet intuition that guides you. Because when you are drained, you cannot hear it. But when you are rested, centered, and guarded, it speaks clearly. Your energy is your life force, and if you guard it well, you will have the strength to persist where others quit, to focus where others scatter, to rise where others fall. Do not let everyone have access to your energy, because not everyone deserves it. Not every room deserves your presence. Not every problem deserves your attention. Silence empowers you to choose wisely, to channel your strength toward what truly matters. Protect your energy, because it is the fire that will carry your dream from the shadows of silence to the stage of victory. Chapter 12. Focus is the lens that turns scattered light into a burning fire, the force that transforms potential into power, and without it even the most gifted person will remain ordinary, because brilliance without focus is wasted, energy without focus is scattered, and time without focus is lost forever. And this is why focus is not a luxury, but a necessity if you truly desire to win in silence and emerge in public with undeniable results. The world around you is full of noise, endless distractions, constant invitations to divide your attention. Social media pulling one way, opinions pulling another, temptations calling from every corner. And if you do not master the discipline of focus, your dream will die not from lack of talent, but from lack of concentration. Focus requires sacrifice, because to focus on one thing you must ignore many things, and ignoring is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the strength to say no to what does not serve your destiny. It is the ability to remain faithful to the path, even when other paths look easier, faster, or more glamorous. Focus is saying, I choose my vision over my comfort, my discipline over my distractions, my future over my feelings. The truth is, most people fail not because they aimed too high and missed, but because they aimed at too many things and hit nothing. Scattered effort produces shallow results, but focused effort produces deep transformation. Think of the sun when its rays are spread wide, they warm. When they are concentrated through a lens, they burn. Your life is the same. Spread too wide, you will feel busy but achieve little. Focus sharply, you will become unstoppable. Focus is also about consistency, because true focus is not about a burst of attention for a day, but about sustained attention over years, about waking up every day with the same priority, the same goal, the same determination. It is about refusing to let temporary feelings hijack permanent commitments. Focus makes the difference between those who dabble and those who dominate, between those who wish and those who win, between those who start and those who finish. And focus is sharpened by silence, because silence removes the distractions of unnecessary voices. It quiets the noise of outside opinions. It eliminates the pull of comparison, and it allows you to lock in on your own assignment. If you want to see how powerful focus is, look at the stories of those who achieved greatness: inventors, athletes, leaders, creators. None of them scattered their lives in 100 directions. They gave themselves fully to one mission, one calling, one vision, and the world rewarded them with recognition and legacy. Focus is also protection, because when you are focused, you do not waste time arguing. You do not waste time proving yourself. You do not waste energy chasing validation. You stay aligned with your vision, and alignment accelerates achievement. But you must guard your focus fiercely, because distractions will always appear dressed as opportunities. Temptations will always come disguised as shortcuts, and if you are not vigilant, you will mistake noise for direction. Learn to constantly ask, does this serve my purpose? Does this align with my vision? Does this feed my destiny? If the answer is no, let it go. That is focus. Silence strengthens it, patience protects it, and discipline sustains it. With focus, your silent work will eventually roar so loudly that the world cannot ignore it, because focused energy over time produces undeniable success, and that success is the ultimate proof that you were right to guard your silence and sharpen your vision. So remember, focus is not just about doing more. It is about doing less, but doing it with such intensity and clarity that it moves mountains. Chapter 13: Consistency is the quiet giant of success, the hidden force that separates the dreamers from the doers, the starters from the finishers, the temporary sparks from the eternal flames. And if you look closely at anyone who has achieved greatness, you will see not just talent, not just opportunity, not just inspiration, but an unshakable commitment to showing up again and again, even on the days when it was hard, even on the days when no one noticed, even on the days when quitting seemed easier. Because consistency is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. It is about choosing progress over excuses. It is about making a decision once and then living that decision daily until it shapes your reality. The danger of inconsistency is that it creates broken momentum. It keeps you always starting but never finishing, always dreaming but never delivering, always planning but never producing. And inconsistency kills more destinies than failure ever will, because failure at least teaches you something, but inconsistency teaches you nothing. It only steals your time and leaves you empty-handed. Consistency, however, compounds. Like drops of water carving through stone, like daily steps eventually crossing a continent, like steady training transforming an average person into a master. Consistency turns small actions into massive results over time, and it is this truth that makes it both powerful and difficult, because consistency demands faith to keep going when results are still invisible, discipline to stay the course when distractions scream, and patience to believe that the slow grind will one day produce the breakthrough. Silence strengthens consistency because it eliminates the pressure of constant validation. It allows you to work in peace without needing applause. It gives you the space to fail, to adjust, to improve quietly, and in that quiet repetition you develop mastery. Consistency is the proof of commitment. Anyone can start with excitement, but only the consistent finish with excellence. Think of the gyms. One day of exercise changes nothing. One week of effort shows little. But months and years of steady discipline transform the body into strength, and the same principle applies to your mind, your skills, your dreams. Every day you practice, every day you persist, every day you show up, you are laying bricks on the foundation of your destiny, and while each brick may look small, the building will one day stand tall for all to see. The danger is that many quit too soon. They plant seeds but walk away before the harvest. They start journeys but stop halfway. They break promises to themselves and then wonder why their confidence fades. But confidence is built by consistency, by keeping your word to yourself until you trust yourself, until your actions prove your belief. Consistency is freedom because it frees you from depending on moods. It frees you from waiting for motivation. It frees you from the trap of chasing shortcuts, and instead it builds a system that carries you even on hard days. Do not underestimate the power of small, consistent steps. They may feel insignificant today, but compounded over time, they create results that shock the world. The great tragedy of inconsistency is not just lost progress, but lost identity. Because when you live inconsistent, you begin to doubt who you are, you lose faith in your own discipline, and you accept mediocrity as your norm. But when you live consistent, you build strength not just in your results, but in your character. You begin to see yourself as trustworthy, resilient, unstoppable. So guard your consistency as a treasure, protect it with silence, fuel it with discipline. stretch it with patience, and one day your consistent work will speak so loudly that the world will have no choice but to listen. Chapter 14. Every destiny requires endurance, because the road to greatness is not a straight highway lined with cheering crowds, but a rugged path filled with storms, obstacles, delays, betrayals, loneliness, and countless moments when giving up feels easier than pressing on, and this is where endurance becomes the dividing line between those who merely talk about their dreams and those who truly live them. Because endurance is the ability to suffer without surrendering, to walk through pain without stopping, to believe through doubt without collapsing, and to keep your head lifted even when your heart is heavy. Endurance is not glamorous, it is not celebrated, it is not Instagram-worthy, but it is the secret ingredient behind every story of victory, the quiet power that keeps you moving when motivation dies, when applause fades, when strength feels small. Endurance is not just about surviving the storm, but about refusing to let the storm change who you are, refusing to let delays steal your discipline, refusing to let setbacks steal your spirit. Understand this: the weight of your destiny is heavy, and without endurance you will collapse under it. But with endurance you will grow stronger through it, because endurance is a muscle, and like every muscle, it is only built through resistance, through pressure, through struggle. Every disappointment you survive, every delay you outlast, every pain you walk through is not breaking you but building you, shaping you, proving you, and preparing you to carry more. Silence is your ally here, because when you endure quietly, you are not feeding critics with your complaints, you are not giving doubters satisfaction with your struggles, you are not letting weakness be seen as defeat. You are letting your strength be formed in secret, so that one day your victory will roar in public. Endurance also requires perspective, because pain without perspective feels permanent, but pain with perspective becomes preparation. And when you understand that the storm is not sent to kill you, but to strengthen you, not to end you but to equip you, then you stop resisting the process and start enduring it with faith. Endurance is not stubbornness, it is strength guided by wisdom. It is the refusal to quit on what matters most while being flexible enough to adjust strategies, shift directions, and grow through change. Many people fail not because they lacked vision, but because they lacked endurance. They quit in the waiting room of destiny. They walked away just before the breakthrough. They surrendered when they were one step from the finish line. Endurance is what keeps you standing when others fall, what keeps you climbing when others sit, what keeps you focused when others are distracted. Without endurance, talent will burn out, passion will fade, discipline will weaken, but with endurance, you can outlast those more talented, outlive those more gifted, and outwork those more connected, because the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to those who endure to the end. Endurance is the crown of the silent warrior, the unseen fire in the heart that says, "I will not give up, I will not turn back, I will not let go until I see what I started come to life." So embrace endurance, not as punishment, but as preparation, not as a burden, but as a blessing, because every second you endure is proof that you are stronger than your struggle, tougher than your test, greater than your pain, and destined for more than your present season. Chapter 15. Victory is not an accident, it is the natural result of silence, focus, discipline, consistency, and endurance working together until the world cannot deny what has been built in secret. Because true victory is not about proving others wrong, but about proving yourself right, about showing that every hidden hour of work, every silent sacrifice, every private struggle, and every unseen tear had a purpose, and that purpose is now shining in the light of undeniable results. Victory is not a moment, it is a process, a culmination of years of preparation, a harvest of seeds planted in faith, watered in discipline, and protected in silence. And when victory arrives, it does not need to announce itself loudly, because the results speak louder than any words ever could. People will call it overnight success, but you will know it was years of nights spent in silence, years of mornings spent in discipline, years of days spent in focus, and what they see as sudden is simply the unveiling of what was hidden. Victory is also not about perfection, because perfection is an illusion. Victory is about persistence, about refusing to let failures define you, about learning from mistakes until they become stepping stones, about taking every setback and turning it into strategy. Victory is personal before it is public. You must win within yourself before you win in front of others. You must conquer your doubts, defeat your fears, silence your insecurities, and master your impulses, because the greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside but within. And once you master yourself, the victories outside will follow naturally. But remember, victory is not the end. It is a new beginning, because every victory creates new expectations. Every level you conquer opens a higher one. Every achievement attracts new challenges, and the true champion understands that victory is not a place to rest, but a platform to grow. Do not fear the weight of victory, for it is lighter than the weight of regret, and nothing is heavier than the burden of knowing you quit too soon. Victory is sweeter because of the silence that preceded it, because the longer you labor in the dark, the brighter your success shines in the light, and that light does not just guide you, but inspires others who are still walking through their own dark seasons. True victory is humble because it remembers the silence, it remembers the nights when no one clapped, the days when no one cared, the seasons when quitting looked easier, and it carries that memory as fuel to stay grounded, to keep pushing, to remain grateful. Victory is also responsibility, because what you achieve in silence and reveal in public becomes an example for others. It becomes a testimony of discipline, patience, and resilience, and with that testimony comes influence, and with influence comes the duty to lead wisely. Never forget that victory is not only about reaching your own mountaintop, but about leaving a trail that others can follow, about turning your silent struggle into someone else's strength, about transforming your pain into someone else's hope. The ultimate victory is not just winning in public. It is winning with integrity, winning with purpose, winning with legacy, because applause fades, titles expire, trophies rust, but the impact you create in the lives of others will echo long after you are gone. So walk into your victory with humility, wear it with grace, share it with generosity, and protect it with silence, for silence birthed it and silence will sustain it. In the end, victory is not about noise. It is about knowing you stayed faithful when it was hard, you remained focused when it was tempting to drift, you endured when it was painful, and you arrived when many gave up. And that knowledge is the greatest victory of all.